Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast, The Best Possible Me, where we look at relationship dilemmas, try to open different viewpoints and perspectives in hopes that if everyone does this, we all become the best possible me. Hello everyone, my name is Cindy.
And my name is Ella.
Welcome back to our podcast. So today we have a very interesting, beautiful story prepared for everybody. So shall I start reading?
Yes, please do.
Okay, all good. So the title is called Giving My Pregnant Girlfriend an Ultimatum.
I would just like to acknowledge that this was a story.
A post, yes.
A post, yes, on Reddit. Just
OP,
like
yeah.
Mail 1635 posted on Reddit. And he gave us permission to actually read it.
Yes.
We have added names just to make it clearer to everyone.
Yes.
And obviously when he wrote it, he wrote only his perspective of it. We added another perspective, which we will discuss later.
Yep, so we can have a bit of more comprehensive discussion about the situation. So yeah, thank you for giving us permission to reading your story. And yeah, I just start reading now. My girlfriend, Kate, and I have been together for 5 years. Back in May, we find out Kate is pregnant and I closed on the house for us to move into. Our family and friends know about the pregnancy, including Kate's best childhood friend, Anna. I will admit I never liked the dynamic between Anna and Kate, but it did not really affect our relationship since Anna lived in a different state. After finding out about the pregnancy, Anna decided to move back home. We live in Kate and Anna's hometown, so they've moved back to the same hometown. Kate has always felt a little self-conscious in our relationship. I work as a personal trainer. Kate feels intimidated by small girls, although in my eyes, Kate is sexy AF woman with amazing curves, which I tell her all the time. I suppose that being pregnant, the self-consciousness has become even worse. Anna has been back since late July and since have become really bad. Anna has done nothing but played into Kate's insecurities and anxieties. Since being back, Kate and I have never been tracking location couple or looking through phones couple. We always consider that a red flag in a relationship. Anna has somehow convinced Kate that she needs to start doing that. So she has been looking through my phone regularly and finding nothing. I have communicated my hurt and frustration and that I think she needs to distance herself from Anna. She kept rebuffing my concerns. About 2 weeks ago, Kate again asked to look through my phone. I told her in no uncertain terms that this will be the last time she looks through my phone. If she again sees nothing suspicious, then she needs to agree to go to counseling and distance herself from Anna. She agreed, looked through my phone and found nothing suspicious. But she soon re-engaged on her promise to do counseling and distance herself from Anna. I decided to move out. We are currently on a month-to-month lease in an apartment until renovations get done on the house I bought. I am staying with a friend until the house is ready, and then I will move in alone. Kate has asked me to reconsider. I refuse. She will likely need to move in with her mother, which is not ideal given the limited space, which I feel terrible about for my child. What should I do?
Very interesting.
It is. There's lots of twists and turns, and it's not just about relationship, but pregnancy is also about friendship. Friendship with your best friend.
Yes. And how much can a partner actually tell you to have or not have a friendship with your friend?
Yeah, and it's also very interesting. I wanted to point out that when the OP says if you look at my phone you don't find anything suspicious, I would like you to distance yourself from Anna, from the friend, but also go to counseling or to access therapy.
Yes, which actually means that he's seeing that there is an issue that he believes that she needs to work on.
Right.
So him suggesting that, I think is coming, I don't know, in my eyes, from a supportive place.
Sounds like from a good place. Yes.
Yes. as in maybe he's feeling that she might get counseling that will help increase her self-esteem or her decrease her jealousy or something like that will help
Right.
both of them really.
Yes.
So I see that as a positive. However, he can't dictate to her if to do counseling or not.
Right.
And in a way, he put her in a corner and said, if you want to check my phone, you have to promise this.
Okay. And the result was she agreed, but then after checking the phone, there was no follow-up on that promise.
Yes. And we know that therapy doesn't help people if they don't really want it.
Exactly. Yeah. Getting help, the first step is acknowledging you need help.
Yes. Yes. So it's a really complicated one.
Yeah.
And it raises a lot of issues about relationships generally and boundaries in relationships and how
Yes.
much do you actually trust your partner or not.
Right. Yeah. And how much does relationship or friendship, how much does a friendship, since your friend says to you, impact on your view of your own relationship?
Yes, your own relationship with your partner. So it could be that from his point of view, before Anna came,
Everything was fine.
everything was fine. And slowly he felt that she's changing because of the impact of Anna on her.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Would you like to read us the other side of the story then?
This is a possibility of Kate's view of the whole situation. I love John very much and see him as a life partner, which is why I was very happy for us to get pregnant. John is very responsible and takes good care of me. He has even purchased a house for us to move into before the baby's born. I have always been worried, though, that John might cheat on me. I didn't have any evidence of this, but look, he's a hunk, whereas I'm on the fuller side. He is a personal trainer and works often with women who adore him and flirt with him constantly, which makes getting tempted very easy. He likes to charm, which I know is part of his personality and something that drove me to him to begin with. And I have told him that when he puts on his charm, other women see it as flirting. However, he dismissed this and explains that it's just being nice and doing good marketing, which he has to do in order to get enough clients. I trust him. However, deep inside, I was always worried that he would get tired of me and prefer prettier women. In fact, he never really proposed and said that he's not the marrying type. John has always been going to therapy all his life, and he really believes in it. I think that he sees therapy like a best friend in a way, because he doesn't have a best friend. I personally don't feel I need therapy, because chatting with good friends has always been enough for me. And besides, if therapy really works, why should you be going to it for so many years? When my best friend from primary school, Anna, came back to town, I was happy. She always gets me and is a wonderful support to me. Since she moved back, I felt that John didn't like her. I think he feels threatened by our closeness. But hey, she is my best friend, and it's different to someone that is your partner. It's a very different relationship. I told Anna about my gut feelings, and she told me that I should always trust my gut feelings because they're always correct, and therefore I should check. So I have checked a few times, which John always cooperated with, but he was actually hurt that I feel that I needed to do this. Last time that I asked to see his phone to check about my gut feeling, he was so upset that he told me that if I don't find anything, I will have to distance myself from Anna and start therapy. Of course I agreed, because I wanted to check my gut feeling again. However, once I checked and found nothing, John really lost the plot and demanded that I actually follow on my promise. When I told him I was kidding and won't, he said he was leaving me. The fact I'm pregnant and with his child didn't really matter. I'm at the moment living in our apartment, but I'm planning to move into my mom's house. She's living in a 2-bedroom unit. I feel he is overreacting, and that does not give me comfort. I love him, but I will not be controlled or told who I can or cannot see, or make me have to go to therapy. My mom is a single mom, and I know I can raise my child on my own. But this is so not like him, and I love him.
Wow. Okay. So I guess a few of the things are the same. She did see that John asked her to promise to distance from Anna and to go access therapy. And of course, she agreed because she really wanted to check his phone again.
Yes.
And she also mentioned the part that Anna, her best friend, is the one that in a way influenced her to check on John's phone.
Well, I think that Anna, being a best friend, is just giving her permission to go with her gut feeling, which that's what you'd expect a friend that gets you to do.
Yes.
But I think that what Anna isn't realizing is that the fact that she has this gut feeling isn't necessarily because it's real, but it might be because of her own insecurities.
Right. And to have this gut feeling, obviously acknowledging your gut feeling and trust your gut feeling is not necessarily wrong. I would say most scenarios are correct. We need to trust our gut feelings. But it's more importantly, it's the action after you realize you have this gut feeling instead of going straight on, I need to check your phone because I have this gut feeling. Other than there might be other ways to approach that. Have a conversation with him. This is where my gut feeling coming from, and this is how I feel, really. Talking about your feelings and communicate in a way instead of straightforward, give me your phone, I need to check.
Yes. And I also acknowledge the fact John wanting her on one hand to distance herself from Anna because he's seeing Anna as the one that's pushing her to be even more self-conscious on one hand, but on the other hand, going to therapy in order to actually work on what it is that is making her so self-conscious because he knows he's not doing anything.
Right.
I do understand where John is coming from, and I think that there is a lot of legitimacy in that. However, you can't make someone go to therapy. They need to want it themselves.
Right. It can't be an exchange of an action. To
Yes.
check my phone, you need to go see therapy.
Yes. So both of them maybe have a bit overreacted or you know.
There are better ways to approach
Yes.
this situation. Definitely. Yeah.
And also making it into an ultimatum that this is so bad that I won't be living with the mother of my child. That also raises a lot of questions, because if you really
Yes.
love her and she really loves you and you see yourselves as partner, no matter if you are choosing to get married or not,
Yes.
it's about understanding where the other person is coming from and trying to support them to feel more secure.
Yeah, that's right. Rather than writing down, I understand this is where her insecurity coming from. We're talking about body types. We're talking about conventionally attractive or not, or body size. But I do not think I see where this message has been constantly communicated, or is there any actions he's doing to support her in a way?
We don't know.
Yeah,
we really don't know here.
We really don't know.
On the other hand, I can understand why he is tired of constantly needing to explain that he is not interested in other women. He only loves her. He only has eyes for her. His behavior is a bit of his personality plus a bit of marketing, and probably his strong suit.
Yes, yeah. And it's part of his job as well. If he's a personal trainer, we've all been to gym. We all know what it looks like to be a personal trainer. And you're basically part of a salesperson. You need to sell your service. Your service is helping people to train.
Yes. And when we have partners that love each other, but then part of maybe their profession or their something that is very entrenched in their life is something that is pushing the other person's buttons, it's a huge problem.
It can be, yes.
Because she's constantly triggered by his profession in a way, or the way he executes his profession.
Right, okay.
Especially that she's already, because it pushes her self-consciousness even more. But then can a couple that are aware of this find ways to negotiate ways that both of them will be happy, and he'll be able to continue his profession feeling very strong with it.
Yes.
And she will be less intimidated by it.
Right, okay. Yeah, I guess there can be ways, and being separated is definitely not ideal for the situation. She's pregnant with his baby. They still love each other. And the limited space Kate will have once she moves in with her mother.
Yes, and if they do want to get back together, him separating from her just because she's actually voicing her insecurity is
checking the phone as well.
Yeah,
Also, yes,
yeah.
all of that. Yeah.
Yes, is also a problem, because does that mean that from now on she can't actually voice her insecurities with him?
Okay.
Does that mean that she can't check in order to get the reassurance she needs? Which is also a problem. But then I also understand his frustration about constantly being checked, as if she can't trust him as a partner.
Definitely, yeah. Trust is a very big part, and one of the foundations in a relationship, I would say. Another thing I found really interesting when you were reading Kate's version is that Kate actually mentioned something John didn't mention in his version, which is, yes, I love him. I'm really happy. I'm pregnant. We're going to have a baby together. However, he's never proposed, and made it really lightly, like, oh, he said he's not the marrying type. What does that say to Kate? What if Kate is a marrying type? What if Kate wants it differently? What if Kate wants to be proposed to, wants to have a wedding, wants to start a family the way that I just described?
Yep. And maybe in a way, by him giving in and actually marrying her, although for him it's just a technicality, for her that's what will give her the assurance that she needs to trust him even more. Who knows?
We don't know.
There's a lot of things that they actually need to sit together quietly and unpack here, not in an ego place, but in a, let's be vulnerable. Let's actually talk about the things that trouble us. Let's actually talk about our fears.
Yes.
And be honest with each other enough to raise them and talk about them and find together a solution. Because if they still love each other, if they still actually want to be
Of course,
a family together, that'll be best. And if they don't, if he's over it because of her trust issues or whatever, they still need to have really good communication with them, because they're going to have a child together.
Of course, yes. Yep.
And good communication is something that is extremely important when you have a child. And even if you're choosing not to be together, that's something that you need to actually work on, so that it won't then come out somehow with fights relating to the child that have nothing to do with the child. It really has to do with bickering between them.
Right. Yeah. We don't know. And again, they all raised some points that make perfect sense for their side. But then if we put them all together, there's so much more deeper communication, and some miscommunication happened. And there's so much deep communication needed to be happen. So they can work on where they left.
Yes. Okay. I think that, again, I think that going to therapy, yes, maybe with a therapist, this can be unpacked very easily.
Yeah, with a professional in place.
However, if Kate doesn't feel comfortable with a counselor for whatever reason,
she wouldn't open up. Even if they sit in the office, they have a marriage counselor in front of them. She wouldn't open up.
So they might, if they can't actually open up to together, one in front of the other, and they need a third person, maybe they need to think of another option like a mediator or a good friend. Not Anna, obviously, because again, just like
Anna is Kate's best friend, so it could be some bias coming from that.
yes, but also
Point of view,
because
yeah.
he doesn't like her, then obviously anything that Anna will say, he might automatically be against.
He would get into that defense mode
Yes,
immediately.
yes. So we want to find someone that both of them like enough and trust enough to actually help them have this communication
Yes.
and talk about it.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, makes sense. Another point just came to my mind. I realized the influence and impact on your friendship and what does that do to your relationship. Like obviously from Kate's story we can see that she adores her best friend. This is her best friend from childhood and they grew up in the same hometown together. Like Anna, when you have a best friend that you trust wholeheartedly and taking her advice, which she actually did and comes through and lead to a point where she doesn't want to be, like obviously she still loves John, she wanted to be together with John and raising the baby together. What do you have any advice on giving people how to navigate that complexity around it? You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I think that it's great that you have best friends.
Of course, yeah.
And they get you and it's fun, but you need to remember that your partner comes first, in the sense of your partner actually needs to be your first priority in your thinking.
When it comes to relationship and communication between each other,
Yes.
that should be prioritized, then hear your best friend says this and immediately follow through that advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you think as an individual in a couple,
Yeah.
rather than thinking as a couple in a couple,
Okay, yeah.
I think that that might make things difficult. And I think that being a best friend, part of your job is not all the time supporting your partner, your best friend,
Yeah.
but also suggesting to her to have conversations with her partner about these things. Because you might know your best friend really, really well.
But you don't know their relationship. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, yes.
And you might think you know it, but do
Yeah.
you know all the ins and outs? And do you actually understand him as well as you understand her?
Definitely, yes, yeah.
So many times we feel that best friends should always take my side, but sometimes taking your side is actually moving you away from your partner.
Right.
So,
Okay.
So I think that as best friends, we need to be really mindful that our job to support is to reconnect our best friend to her partner, unless obviously there are a lot of red signs that
Yeah.
partner is not good for her.
Of course, yeah, yeah. Okay, makes sense, yeah. But for people who's in the middle of it, it's really hard to say it that way.
100%. And I think that both of them, if you hear their side of the story, it all makes sense.
Yeah, they're all coming from a good place.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and I think that the moment they realize that both of them are coming from a good place and from their basic insecurities and the things that they grew up with,
Yes.
personally, that might open their eyes to be much more supportive of the other side and much more respectful and understanding of the other side, rather than go into their own head and be stuck there. So thank you very much, Cindy.
Thank you, Ayala. So that's the end of our episode 3. Thank you, guys, and see you next time.
Bye.
If you also have a relationship dilemma that you are struggling with and you would like us to bring it up here anonymously, you can email us on bestpossibleme.podcast@gmail.com. You can also find the email address in our podcast bio. Don't forget to like and follow our podcast so you get the notification of each new episode. See you next week.